Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of H1Z1 Dead Feature Rant. Today's episode, we have a little bit of a different format. We've got Zombie Kremchek over on the side there, and up top is actually Reverend Kremchek playing in-game. You might hear a little bit of clickety-clacks and stuff from the gameplay stuff going on over on his side, but don't worry too much about that. We're going to be talking right on over that with no problem. So everybody
Yes,
out
we are.
there, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, Krem, why don't you say what's up here and let everybody know kind of what you're doing and where you're at in the in this run here.
Yeah, hey everybody. Of course, I'm Reverend Krimchek, and right now I'm playing some H1Z1 for you guys. And I actually had just started a new adventure here with this guy. Apparently, last time I was playing, I died and then left. So here I am, and right now I'm just kind of trying to gather some materials. I got to a smaller industrial type place here, and but of course, before I go into any big towns, I need to make sure that I'm armed, and that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Cool. So I see you shredded your shirt and
I did.
did you made the bow, and are you still working on the satchel right now, or have you been able to get that already?
I am still working on a satchel. I haven't been able to shred pants, and I haven't been able to get any cloth. Hopefully, this zombie that I just killed will have had some cloth on him.
Do you really ever get cloth off of them for punching them?
No, but that one had that one had loot, but it was just shotgun shells this time.
Okay. Yeah, you can get the loot bag without punching them to death there, but or punching their dead corpse to oblivion.
Sometimes it's just easier just to get them out of the way,
Yeah,
because sometimes it does actually block it.
that's true.
So normally I carry as many lighters as possible. I don't know if they go out, but I have one, so I'm just kind of sticking with one for now. Because they did do some changes to the inventory that makes it harder to carry a lot of things at a time. I don't know if you've noticed that, but
Yeah, oh yeah, they definitely do. I mean, that's part of the way that loot works out is some items you just can't carry more than a few of, like the big weapons, the big rifles. Last time I picked one up, and maybe it's changed since then. The last time I actually had the honor of having one, they were 1,600 inventory capacity, which is
right.
absolutely larger than any possible container. So you're not putting it in a bag; you're holding it on your person, or you're leaving it in the world.
Well, that's even the same thing as this bow. It's 800, so you're not going to put that in a bag.
Yeah, not really. Uh,
So,
but I mean, they are kind of a forgettable sort of thing. It takes not much to really make a bow, so just if you get
right,
an upgrade, just upgrade. So we've got some
right.
folks in chat here, Shizpimp and Deathbrain09. Shizpimp is wondering, what server are you on Doomsday right now?
Um, what's you just said the server, so
Oh,
Doomsday.
yeah. Well, that's that they were asking if it was Doomsday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Doomsday.
cool. So, what'd you get in the car there?
It was a tarp, but and I had a tarp, and then I just had some sheet metal, but I can't really do anything until I get a bag. So
I gotcha. A bag or some cloth or something you can shred. Hopefully you'll be able to find one of those. Usually vehicles, I've been finding a lot more metal
yeah,
scraps and cloth and crap like that. So definitely should be a lot more around that's available and workable. Oh, missed.
yeah. I've been a lot worse with the bow since they made the change to it. So I have to relearn the bow
For me,
a
it
little
was
bit.
never the mechanic of the bow that was so tough. For me, it was always anticipating the kind of the sway and the
The sway,
bobbing.
yeah,
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 because when they're charging straight at you, it's sometimes a little bit easier, but at the same time, they're charging straight
yes.
at you, so it's not necessarily the situation you want to be in. I was
That
actually
was a fantastic find right there. I just got a backpack.
nice. Well, that saves a little effort for you, and now you can put on the next shirt.
Yes,
Speaking of, you have that new skin in the in your little inventory list there.
I do.
That's the one that they give us. Everybody who was playing up to this point that had logged in, that had played H1Z1, that had gotten their characters in, at some point got access basically to this permanent skin. It's
Hmm.
the I Survived PW1. It's the first player wipe. And they're
Yep.
gonna probably keep on doing it. It's a really cool shirt. It looks cool on the front. It's got little bullet hole decals on the back. I like it a lot.
That's right. Yeah, it's really cool. I put it on and then I shredded it. I just wanted to see what it looked like first.
Yeah. And actually, I really do like the permanent aesthetic system, like the ability to keep turning items into the thing of the skin that you want. Because that means
Right.
just one person is needed to fully kit out your crew with the proper aesthetic.
Right. Exactly.
What it also means is, I don't know, maybe there's not going to be as much emphasis on people trying to infiltrate other groups if they realize either I have to get lucky and get the orange and brown plaid that they use, or I have to spend $10 to purchase the skin. And actually, that's something I haven't really checked. They haven't even linked up any Player Studio stuff yet, have they? Other than
Not that I've seen.
like the what's it called, airdrop related stuff.
Yeah, not that I've seen at all.
Yeah. So they'll get there when they get there.
What I found lately is that it's really important just to kill zombies because some zombies have a ridiculous amount of things on them. And I don't know if it's because they've killed players or if they're just putting loot some really nice loot on zombies, but I found guns, ammo, like you name it, I found it on a zombie.
Well, there's
These
two
days.
ways that zombies can get loot. One is if, a horde of them kills somebody and they're on top of the corpse when it dies and, nobody's around, it'll probably pretty quickly get distributed into their little loot bags.
Hmm.
But if somebody dies in the wilderness and nobody's around for a while and zombies are the
And
first
it
thing to
just
come
gets
to
put
the
on.
corpse, yeah,
Yeah.
so someone could be totally armed and loaded and then eaten by a bear. Bear doesn't want the rest of this stuff. Bear just wants that sweet, sweet human flesh. So, not non-infected human flesh at that.
Right.
So they don't really care about your loot. It's going to be left behind, and well, it's going to be the zombies. Now, actually, that's something I wanted to ask. I have only, I think, been attacked by wolves once the entire H1Z1 early access. I
Hmm.
had a lot more trouble with bears. Have you had any trouble, any problem with wolves whatsoever, or have they been basically a non-issue or invisible to you? Hey, there it
I've
is.
had.
That's Steve George on there. Get closer. Get closer to those
Are you
pictures.
kidding? Right there? Wait.
VGU Game Shop with the big hair. That's him. That's him when he was younger.
What?
Yep.
What?
It's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that. Who's the other guy?
I can't remember.
Oh, that is so funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
That's the best thing
you
that's ever
found
happened.
you found the sign. There's I think just one, maybe two signs with those pictures on it, and you found it.
Oh geez, that is amazing. I think my favorite thing though is all the little SOE Easter eggs. I'm really loving those, like the Caladim pub, and then one of the forests is called what is it? Oh, I don't even remember at this point. It's one of the gods.
Oh, you're talking about not the forest, but Vishon's Peak or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably
That's
it. Yeah.
that's out of EQ. And then the other thing back there
Yeah.
on that map, you can see Ruby Lake and the Opfer Wildlife Reserve. Of course, that's the environment artist.
Nice, nice.
So she's represented there, and that's
Carico Road here.
yeah, Carrico, yeah, the Swizzle guy.
Magpie.
What was that?
Isn't Magpie a Twitter name of somebody?
Maybe it's a type of bird. All right, Totem. Welcome,
Anyway.
welcome. So far, we haven't seen any players, so it's really been hard to kind of talk about the whole KOS perception in the context of this run. But
Yeah, I mean, I've actually seen less players lately. However, they've been equally, if not more so, KOS. And that's through my last couple playthroughs.
it's kind of a weird thing. I definitely have been seeing On one hand, I'll watch some streams and I see a lot less KOS than had been going on previously. On other streams, I'll see people that, intentionally get somebody to open their inventory bag just to shoot them with the bow when they're not looking.
That's been Kremcheck,
Yeah, I was
actually.
gonna say that's you.
Done that, yes.
I saw it.
Hey, do you have any food? Oh yeah, go ahead and look. Boom.
Yeah.
That is a good tactic, by the way, if you're trying to kill people, of course.
Yeah. You know,
Sometimes Krem's just got to kill, and he's told everyone that on countless occasions.
that's the sort of thing that's going to get the like a transparency for the window set up at some point. So when you've got the
Yeah.
inventory open, you only see like 80% opacity. Ooh, you got a hammer there. Maybe you need to free up a branch slot or
Yeah, I
something.
have this hammer at 700, and this one doesn't even have. Well, I guess shouldn't that show? This one's 1100, so that one's a lot better.
Cool.
Cool. My weapon of choice still is the bow and arrow. And I actually
the
haven't
crafted,
gotten
the nice one, right?
Well, of course, yeah, but I mean, if I have to go with anything, or if I have to go with makeshift or something else, I still go with makeshift. Of course, I want the better one. One thing that people overlook when they're playing here is they don't actually look under the seats in cars, or where your feet should be, because there's actually a lot of stuff there sometimes. Just a pro tip there.
Yeah, I've noticed there's a lot of stuff. Actually, it's sometimes really hard to spot stuff on the ground. That's why I often carry the flashlight up.
Yeah. Very true, very true. Right now, I'm trying to get to Cranberry, and that's going to be able to... I think we'll have a higher concentration of people there. So hopefully we can talk about this KOS issue, and maybe chat with a few of our doomsday patrons here.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, it's it's kind of a funny thing that we knew KOS was going to be bad for a while, and then we kind of figured it's going to settle a combination of because of player perception and players starting to learn the game a little, but also because the environment's going to get tougher, and you're just not going to be able to survive solo as well. Do you feel like we've gotten to that point yet, or not
I don't.
really? So far, it looks like you've been able to just kind of run around all willy-nilly without really any danger, more than a couple zombies on the screen at a time.
And then I just go shoot them in the face once and they die. So
Yeah.
right now, it's especially because I'm out in the wilderness. There's probably not going to be as many zombies here anyway. But I don't feel that the world has gotten dangerous enough to make it so people need to be working together or they're going to die. Or to make them feel that way, at least.
Yeah. Well, do you think it should be just zombies, or should the threat be coming from everything? Should wolves be a little bit more of a presence? Is it that we maybe just don't have enough things in the wilderness to make threats for us at this point?
Well, I think that everything should be a threat at this point. If you look at any kind of wildlife, if you even look at deer, in this situation, they're going to be a little bit crazy. They might be a threat to you at this point. Wolves are definitely going to be a threat to you. And you're not going to be able to just punch them to death like you can right now.
Yeah.
So right now, wildlife is most definitely not threatening enough. But neither are zombies.
Yeah, so apparently there's a 308 and M1911A1 if you manage to track down Shiz Pimp in the world. Thank you very much.
Well, I would love that.
Thank you very much. All right. And by the way, if you folks are wondering why I didn't send out a tweet for the show, Twitter's been dumb today. So
Yeah, neither of us could tweet about the show. Or actually, I couldn't tweet anything. I even tried to tweet, "Is Twitter broken?" And that didn't work.
try again. There we go. Now it went up. No security.
Oh, good.
It's just been weird. DK, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Did he just say deer? Yes, Nakupenda, deer. They are most definitely not something you can just walk up to and punch to death in the real world. So, like any four-legged animal of that sort of size and shape, was the ruminants or whatever they're called, they'll pretty much impale you with their rear kick. Like, whether or not they've got any sort of horns or antlers or anything on the front, that kick alone is just going to end you. Like, that's...
Oh, yeah.
It's
you will be destroyed.
People in real life, they're lucky to, come clean with little to no injury after getting kicked by a horse or a donkey or, anything like
Here,
that.
I found a shirt so you can actually see it. You have the backpack, but you kind of see the bullet hole there.
I like the bullet holes. It almost
Yeah.
looks like there's like some eyes behind it or something.
Is there any way to see the front of stuff?
The front of what you're wearing?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so.
There's no free look.
That could be a thing.
It could be, but at the same time, I'm wondering how people would try to exploit it and set up like a quick macro that just looks behind them for a moment, like a quick rear view button. Then again, a
Right.
look behind would be a really nice feature.
Yeah, for sure. It would. So I think I'm just going to head to Ranchito Taquito here, because I
There is
lost
a free
cramp.
look? What is it, DK? Alt in
Use
third
Alt in
person.
third person.
Oh, okay.
Well, look at that.
Well,
So there's my
then.
shirt. It's not completely free, but it's close. I survived PW1 is what it says.
Clear wipe one. I didn't even know that. I guess I'd
Awesome.
never tried to use that feature.
Okay, so I'm headed straight here. This is gonna get me sooner or later. Will get me to Ranchito Taquito, which is a smaller town, but it should have some people there.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I was not getting any loot in Ranchito Taquito, and some people were saying, "Man, you gotta be nuts, man! I've been finding everything in there." It's like, no, actually, I spent a couple of hours in Rancho Taquito and literally found like 3 packs of food, maybe a couple water bottles. I think they were empty. 1 piece of clothing, and a vehicle with the headlights and the spark plugs pulled out. So,
Oh,
yeah, in a couple hours of walking around the place and mostly just eating berries that I'd previously collected, it wasn't too good. Now, that was at a point where people already were saying loot was high, even though just after that, they cranked up the loot access and distribution and availability. Since then, they actually pulled it back a little bit. It feels like it's at a pretty decent balance right now.
did you know that there was a friends list?
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure where it was at in the functionality because I wasn't sure if it was going to be like just in-game only or if it was going to link up to Steam at some point. So I guess, kind of waiting to hear more on the subject. But yeah,
It appears like you just put your request in game.
okay.
You put like a friend request in, then you can say friend online. It'll show you what friends are online.
Oh, nifty.
So there's not like a social tab. It looks like it's just everything. Everything works through the chat box.
I getcha.
Of course, I'm running low on arrows, so I need to start stocking up on those again. If you didn't notice, also the shirt it now holds 50 instead of 90. The arrows are 5 instead of 1.
Oh, wow. I did not notice that.
Yeah.
I guess add a lot of bag space. That makes a lot more sense, and they also made it that arrows take, or you only get 1 arrow per wood stick instead of 2. So they've definitely
Oh,
been
yeah.
taking some hits at the bows, not to make them any less effective necessarily, but to curtail how much somebody can just sit back and pump arrows into the distance trying to hit things.
Right. Exactly. Because no, you really have to. Like I have 6 arrows right now, and I'm like, well, that's not a lot, obviously, but I can't really have that much more, or I'm not going to have room for other things. And at this point, it's kind of sad because I have no idea where my. Because I had built a base earlier, but I forgot where it was completely.
How long ago did
It's
you
been a
build the
couple
base?
days. It was a couple days ago.
So it was after the wipe. But
Yeah, it's been after the wipe. Yeah,
somebody could have tore it down.
it's definitely possible, but I wouldn't know because I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Food cans down from 100 to 25, and bottles down from 50 to 25. I did
Oh, I
notice
didn't
the
notice that.
bottles. I didn't notice the food yet. Once again, I eat a lot of berries, so my character
Normally,
gets a lot of
food for
fiber.
me. Normally, I find food enough to where I don't even carry food anymore. I just walk around and I eat food. I just grab it from, the area loot and then just eat it there because there's
Yeah,
food all over.
yeah, but turning clean water with berries into the berry juice, that's big
Oh, that's
time.
huge.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's one of the main reasons why I like to carry a ton of berries around. Just okay, I've got a few water bottles filled up. I was able to, cook them and get them in a good shape. Then squeeze them berries in, and all of a sudden, the same amount of space is suddenly a lot more significant.
Oh yeah, I like to keep berries. I just don't keep like cans of food or anything.
The that actually it reminds me of the condiments from Earthbound. So you could eat the condiments themselves, a packet of ketchup or whatever, and maybe
Hmm.
it give you a couple of health back or something. But if you ate it with a sandwich, oh man, you got some super boosts out of it.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like it's the same sort of thing going on here. Water, good hydration, a few berries, you'll get a little hydration and a little food. But combine the two, and oh man, you're in great shape. I actually haven't made coffee yet, but I would
Neither have I.
imagine it would probably have similar effects that you're getting a lot more benefit than if you just, had the water on its own. And
I think that it's some hydration, but the majority of it's energy, if I'm not mistaken. So it's something that's used to boost energy rather than your hydration
uh,
and food.
I haven't
I
really
think.
gotten a chance to drink a cup of Joe in the world of H1Z1. Just
Neither
never
have
lined up for me. Coffee with sugar is the best thing? Cool. Very cool.
I've never made swizzle actually either. I do have the recipe though.
I got close.
But I heard that it's energy and not crazy anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird. I guess they're gonna
I
probably.
think they took the drug out of it.
Oh. But that was what made Swizzle so awesome, is that you could
I
trip
know.
out or make other people trip out. They got to change that with something else. Coffee with sugar is like
Right.
tons of energy and hydration. Nice.
I mean, you make it like you make meth. So it definitely should be. Not that I know anything
Yeah, I was
about
gonna say
making
you
meth.
sounds like you know more about making meth than I do, but
No,
no,
but
it's
like
it's the components you're
it,
combining. Yeah.
yeah, and it says something like it's crystallized or something, and like if you look at Swizzle, let me. I like I said, I have it here as one of my. Okay, apparently I did have it on before the wipe, so I don't actually have it on. I was lying,
Swizzle.
but it says something about it's a crystallized form of something or other or something, and then that's what made me think of meth.
Yeah, Pantera. The Swizzle dealer is Paul Carrico. He's the one responsible for it. He's the Walter White of H1Z1, as it were. So definitely, you know where to go whenever you need your fix. Just bring something to trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really hope that they add a lot more sorts of stuff, like adding that altered state maybe somewhere else, like some poisonous berries that you can collect, and you could mash them up and turn them into some sort of a toxin that makes it easier to hunt wildlife, like being able to take deer down with a single shot and then following them for a bit because they succumb to the poison. But at the
Yeah,
same
that would be
time,
pretty cool. I found that it's hard to kill deer at this point.
they are kind of tough. Like you have to basically get lucky that they don't
Ooh.
go somewhere you can't access them after you hit them once. Like if they run into the side of a bridge or into a house or something, then you're gonna be able to finish them real easy. It's probably a bit easier with the fancy bow, the makeshift bow. It's a lot harder to hit things in the distance, moving targets and such.
I just found a gun for the first time in my life. I need to find a place to put it though, because well, I guess I don't need crowbar. I can find plenty of scrap metal places, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. And scrap metal
Do
is
you
not
have some
really a
rounds for
commodity
that
anymore.
gun?
I have 7 rounds.
Nice. Make them
So,
count.
yeah, I've never actually fired a gun before in this game. Not even once. This
Maybe
is the first time
keep the
I've
bow
gotten a
up and
gun.
switch to the pistol in case you accidentally left click.
That's probably a good idea. And maybe we'll try. We'll find somebody and we'll KOS them and see what they say.
Sounds good. Car plus deer equals dead deer. Yeah, definitely.
Never had a car either.
Yeah, I got a car once. I didn't even know there was a fully working truck. I got in it, and then not too much later, I lost it. But long enough to throw all of my inventory and all the big stuff, rather. So I lost all of that too.
Oh no! You put all of it in the trunk.
Yeah, well, it's
Nice.
the inventory essentially. It's
Right.
you're accessing the engine, the trunk, and everything else once you're in the driver's or passenger seat. Which,
Right. I just assume. I just go with it that it's the trunk. For me,
I figure
makes
it's
it
just
seem cool.
stuff you're throwing in the back seat or something, or in the cab.
That could be too. Yeah.
So before the wipe, DK is saying he had 4 crates just to hold guns. Yeah, I could
Yeah,
see that.
that's why there was a wipe.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of reasons why they had the wipe, but yeah, people that were supplied up. I don't think they really expected people to be super geared out, but they understood that, yeah, some people might totally be able to loot it up and just have mad amounts of stuff.
Right.
So far, though, it seems like everywhere that you've gone, there's been something to loot. It doesn't feel like there's
Yeah.
been any wasted opportunities, like going to places and searching around for 5 minutes finding nothing, which is definitely a marked improvement from the first
Oh, yeah.
few days.
It's not. It's not that. I mean, at this point, you can actually get to a point where you're finding almost too much stuff if you are not building, and I think that's the point. Because there's going to be stuff around in the world, and you're going to find it, and you're going to want it, but you're not going to be able to hold it all. So that's going to make you want to build. That's
Yep.
the reason to build right now is to hold your crap that you can't hold on you.
But at the same time, until they make buildings, more effort to take down than it does to put up, they're kind of useless effort.
That's true. That's true.
So Totem brings up the fact that, yeah, there are some items in the back of flatbed trucks instead of just in the driver's seat.
That's true.
I don't know about player-driven trucks, though. Like, if you put something in the back of that, does it stay there, or does it just drop
Oh,
to
I
the
wonder.
ground below?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Because if I'm not mistaken, players can kind of chill in the back and shoot out from it, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
They can. What you have to do is you have to actually get into the back of the truck and then hit E.
Oh, okay.
And you will, yeah, and then you will like sit down in your actual spot. Like I had this group of guys and it was on stream and I was like, hey, can I get a ride? I'm trying to get to Cranberry. I'm always trying to get to Cranberry. That's a creme check. I'm always trying to get
Well,
to
that's where the
Cranberry.
church
So I'm
is
like,
at, right?
there's churches everywhere, like all of the towns.
No, the
but
church.
the church, yeah. It's like the Holy Grail of churches. That's in Cranberry. So I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get to Cranberry. Can you give me a ride? He's like, we don't have any room. And I just hopped in and I sat down. And he's like, you're gonna fall out. And then I didn't. So I was like, yeah, what's up? And the guy like, here's the troll creme check. The guy hops out to try it himself, and I hop in the passenger seat. And he's like, come on, man, get out. I'm like, nope. And I'm like, and he's like, I'm gonna shoot you. So he tried to get out and shoot me, and then that didn't work. And I ended up telling him to drop a gun on the ground, and he didn't do it, but he said he did. So I had to trust him at that point because it was getting boring, and I wanted to move on. Mm-hmm. So I was like, put a gun on the ground right there, and then run way over there, so I know you're not gonna shoot me, and then I will get out. And so I ended up doing that.
Totem, that's hilarious. I'm wondering if that was somebody's storage space or if that was actually something that could spawn there. Saying they found an abandoned police car in the woods with 175 walls, 25 gates, and an M1911 and a ton of other crap.
Dang.
That sounds like somebody was planning and then just got killed along the way.
Yeah.
You're not
The
catching
bunny.
that bunny.
I
Now,
know.
that's actually not realistic. Bunnies, yes, they do they do go fast, but they're either right-handed or
They cut.
left-handed.
Well,
And
yeah, that too.
they cut to a dominant side, and that's actually something that caveman would be able to do. Going way, way, way back, early humans, you would figure out which side was the dominant side. You would chase it around in a circle, and because human endurance and being able to move at a speed is a little bit better than a bunny, eventually the poor thing would just have a heart attack and clean kill.
Yep.
So that I'd like to see that as a mechanic. That'd be a great survivor mechanic to have in the game here. Fallen off a base and hit my head on a pickup truck fender and died twice. Fallen
That's
off a
pretty awesome.
base. That's that's pretty
That
awesome.
sounds like a you problem, bud.
Bird Toast, how's it going?
What's up, burnt toast? Oh, somehow I got to Pleasant Valley. See, I'm trying to get to these places, and I'm ended up getting to other places. Like I tried to get to Cranberry, and then I found.
You got to know the way to Cranberry before you can get to Cranberry.
Well, I thought that I was going the right way, and then I found the Ranchito Taquito, or whatever the name is.
Yep, that's
And
it.
then I was heading in that direction, and I got to Pleasant Valley instead. So that's still okay. I'm still trying to get to a town. That's the whole point. I'm trying to get to a town. So I guess we're still doing all right.
Yep.
And I think that I was telling Tobrin this the other day because I was watching him play a little bit, and I was like, forget the houses, just search through cars. Because I found that you can get a lot better stuff in cars than you can in houses.
Yeah, I've been
And
finding
so far, I've found that to be true, but he wouldn't listen to me.
Well, the main thing is the chances that you're going to find a metal scrap in a car versus in a house, way higher in a car. And as far as I'm concerned, backpacks and other stuff is nice. But if you don't have a blade of some sort, if you don't have that makeshift hatchet, you are limited from like 50% of gameplay. You can't craft a lot of stuff
Right.
without a blade. You can't chop down trees without a blade. There's a lot of
Right.
stuff. You can't get meat off of things and cloth off of zombies without a blade. So for me, the being yeah, you're right, DK. There are definitely a lot of guns and ammo and stuff on counters and tables in houses, but it, at the same time, you're lucky to be the one that gets those rather than somebody else who's come through in a little bit. Though it depends on the access to things and what's kind of spawning in the area. We got a comment here.
He was also.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was
I was just
saying-
gonna say he was also in an area that I had never seen. Ooh! That's a
Brr.
bear. Okay, so he was in an area that I had never seen before. It was like some huge community, and there was this one house that
Break line
had
of
this
sight.
nice long walkway.
Now go the
I
other
should
way.
probably just go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna just wait for him to walk away. No,
No.
but this thing had like this long walkway up to this freaking huge house, and I was like, wow, I want to go there. I've never been there, but I had no idea where it was, and I don't think he did either. That's another thing that I want to see in the neighborhoods and the cities more. Is look at this, a machete.
Machete, nice.
Is wildlife because they're going to be coming to the towns.
Yes. Well, I'm waiting for there just to be like seagulls scavenging everywhere. It's like there's going to be dead zombies and stuff. You think those crows are going to get up, man? Those seagulls absolutely do not care. Actually, seagulls and crows loot in the same areas. Like across the street, I got a high school there, and they'll work together or at least share the space to eat the stuff. So we got a statement up here. I wanted to repeat it before it scrolls too far. From Pone Daddy, I drove a pickup to Ranchito with 5 AR-15s and 5 shotguns. I farmed from PV. Most nerve-wracking drive of my life. Yeah, that's a lot of nice loot to have. Yeah, buzzards, exactly. Someone saying drop the flashlight. You can put the flashlight in a different bag in case you need it. You have it, but
Oh, that's right.
They are
That's
very
right.
small.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, there you go.
though
a good idea.
I'm waiting to find like mining helmets and other hats and stuff that have the lights on them. So instead, it's a button to toggle the head rather than carrying a flashlight. Carrying a flashlight sucks, especially you aren't even hitting them with it. You're not even using it as a fist pack. It's just a light.
I mean, now what do I pick? See, I found a wood axe in this house, so wood axe or machete.
That's tough. I think the wood axe.
I think the wood axe too.
Yeah, the mayor's mansion is what he was talking about with the long path DK.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
bears are awesome. And Burnt Toast also said, "My friends and I had two cars. One bastard
Another
bear
wood
shows
axe.
up, doesn't die, gets run over twice, no death, proceeds to kill both of us through the vehicle in one hit." Yeah, bears are a raid boss. You can't just go at them all willy nilly like everything else.
Right. But I feel like a lot of things need to be like that. Um, Zombies need to be like that.
I think if you hit a bear with a vehicle, at least it should take some significant damage. Like
It's gonna hurt your vehicle too, though.
it is. Well,
So
also it
you're not.
depends. Like if you can sideswipe it or back into it, it's going to be a lot
Right.
less damage to your vehicle. If you can
This
sideswipe it, you
house.
might just take it right out, get the momentum and everything.
This house is freaking stacked. I just
Yeah,
found a
it
hunting
is.
knife too.
Yeah, it is.
Jeez.
Yes, mountain lions, Throckmorton. I agree. Mountain lions definitely, and that's the thing. Different things in different wilderness, at different altitudes, will definitely make sense. Like, I'm not necessarily saying mountain lions wouldn't be, on surface level or whatever, but definitely, as you go up, especially in, I guess more of a temperate climate. I don't know. This area seems like it's cold all the time, so something a little more like California type weather. I'd imagine you'd be seeing them more in that area.
Yeah, we have a lot of mountain lions here in the Pacific Northwest too, though.
That's true.
And we don't generally hear about them or see them around our places. Generally, they're up in the mountains.
Yeah, usually here it's only hikers that get mauled by
Yeah.
them. Sick of seeing
So I'm
Mitsubishi Lancers Mitsubishi Lancers all over wrecked. I just bought one. Oh, Pantera. Yeah.
Nice.
Flip flop shorts and a Hawaiian shirt. I mean, hell, there are some. And I'm actually not gonna talk about that one. That's some different news. Anyway, different subject. Seen a deer total a vehicle and run away. I think bears will be more challenging, even for a vehicle. Are you talking empty stunner? Are you talking about that scene from Tommy Boy, where the deer just shreds the vehicle from the inside? Because that scene's hilarious.
I think. Well, no, I think he's talking about he's seen a bear a deer, like you hit the deer going 60 miles an hour, and your vehicle is totaled as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really run away generally unless you're hitting the brakes and you're not hitting it very hard. It doesn't really run away, but it most definitely can destroy your vehicle. I mean, it's 1,000 pounds of crazy.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, in real life, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, totaling a vehicle though, like I was able to drive my car home when it got rear-ended, but it was declared totaled because the piece that needed to be replaced was over $10,000 or something. Insurance handled it, but it it wasn't really totaled. Yes, the car is a salvage or whatever because it was totaled and it was in a wreck, but to be perfectly honest, it's in just as good a shape as when it was purchased. So, yeah, that just the perception of that and stuff. I remember there was a game show where they would take the engine out of a car, and if you could total it before the time runs out, you'd win a much nicer car or some amount of money or something.
A nicer version of the car that you just
Yeah.
totaled.
I hope a
That's
little
funny.
bit better than that.
I'm pretty sure that I could total the car in that amount of time frame,
Yeah.
but that's just me acting like I know stuff. So maybe
You
not.
got to know where the big money points are. So Pantera Guck saying that we need drivable buses. Yes, a short bus, a long bus, different types, VW type of bus, campers, trailers, drivable ones of those, purified water in the toilet. Yeah, sometimes you can find that, DK.
I wonder if he's asking or telling me that there was some.
Oh, he might have been telling you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he totally was.
That's funny.
I mean, it's stagnant water, but it's close.
Friend ran over a deer, messed up his car, and ran away. Yeah.
It happens. It just
Yeah.
depends on how fast you're going and how
Yeah.
fast the deer is going.
And where your bumper's at relative to it, and how much it crumples versus how much the impact carries through, and the angle. Yeah, there's a lot of factors. Like, I don't think they spent that much time watching videos and statistics of vehicles running into animals to, really fine tune that. But I don't really think that's the direction they're going with the balancing of that stuff anyway.
Yeah, basically, car is so hard to get. I would say if you have a car, you're going to do a lot of damage to whatever you have. Either way.
Um, yeah. Yeah. When are we going to be able to hook up headlights to batteries to make spotlights? I'm pretty sure we can already do that.
Yep, that's the thing.
Pretty sure that's been a recipe since the start. You just have to
Before
have
the wipe, I had that recipe.
it. Isn't it just that you need to have the headlights and the battery of the same type of vehicle or something?
Um, I'm not sure.
Motorcycles, scooters, yeah, Pantera. Motorcycle with the sidecar, scooters, maybe not. Just shopping carts that you can carry your gear around with. We talked about that quite a bit of times. Bicycles is
Pretty cool.
definitely something they're working on, and it's kind of tough because every vehicle they've made on the Forge Light engine up to this point is either a hovercraft or an axle, like a multi-axle vehicle, or a treaded vehicle. So something where there's two wheels along a central axis, that is new. That is new functionality to be adding to the Forge Light engine. And I don't know if they're just going to use the axled vehicles as a template for it, or if they're going to do something completely different. Because if you think about it, bicycles are really maneuverable. If you've seen people, ride them around doing tricks and stuff like that, they can lean super hard into those turns and do some really gnarly stuff. So
Yep.
I'm wondering, how much, like, if it's going to be a safer sort of vehicle to ride. Obviously, they're not going to flip it and explode like any other vehicle. Nisco, we're talking about bicycles.
But if you do crash, you have a higher chance of dying either way.
Yeah. Skateboard's almost a novelty. Like, I feel like it's creating just as much noise as it is, saving you energy and not having to take a few steps. But you still have
You
to
can Bart
balance.
Simpson it.
You still have to
Uh-huh.
balance when you're on a skateboard too. So it's not like it's easy. If you got like a military backpack full of gear and you're trying to skateboard, good luck. Your balance is going to be all off.
And of course, you're going to be trying to shoot at stuff as you go by, and that's not going to work.
What just hit you? Were you?
I
Step
jumped.
I was gonna say, did you step
I
on
jumped
some
off of a
punches?
car.
That shouldn't take. You shouldn't take damage from that.
Oh, check it out. Yeah, I'm going to be on the top of this car here. Oops, sorry, I jumped when I did it the first time. So, oops. Now I can't jump.
Oh, it's because you're out of stamina.
Oh,
It takes
that
10%
is why.
stamina to jump. I didn't know that. That's a very unforgiving fall distance. Like,
Oh yeah.
at
Oh yeah.
least give me a low second story before we start taking damage. Honestly, this is James Bond MacGyver. This is somebody that when they weren't in the office, working their day job, they were working out. They've been cracking out on like Survivor shows. Or
Okay,
How
here's
to Make
somebody.
It
Here's somebody.
shows. All right. Player
What's up, man?
interaction. Player interaction.
He's Should I kill him? Because he doesn't. Hey,
I don't know if he's got his.
you got any water?
I think he's just trying to loot stuff and get away.
Yeah,
if
he's
you-
out of here.
If you want to kill him, go
He's-
for it.
He's just trying to run. I kind of want to shoot him, but he's not having any of that.
I wonder if he's trying to train zombies or if he's trying to come at you from a different angle.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm kind of doing the same to him.
That actually makes it kind of fun to in a limited situation like this, just kind of treat it like an arena shooter, and there aren't that many people. He's trying to reach for his bow. I
There you
look
go.
like he's pretty well looted.
Holy crap.
Tell him to come to the show here. Tell
Hey, you
him.
should come to Dead Feature Rant on twitch.tv/legendary neurotoxin. You can see why I killed you.
Yeah, Sanwaro, he is kind of a sociopath in this game. How's it going?
Crimcheck, oh yeah, Crimcheck is a sociopath in this game. And possibly real life. But we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, Pantera, Mag Riders would be OP in this. Mag Riders would be OP in really any game. I'm waiting for them to come in Landmark, but that might be a ways down the road.
So basically, I could only take a couple things from him.
Is placing platforms limited to first person, or is there a way for third person for placement? I haven't tried placing things in third person. I mostly play in first, but it's just the same, right?
I would assume so. I haven't done anything.
Oh, that's a funny
regarding that.
place for a car. I like that.
Yeah, totally. That car crashed through this window and went over
Wait,
this.
but look back at the window there, at the door. I don't know. It doesn't look like it would have been able to make it. That would have been a very
it could totally make it
precise.
through there.
They would have had to drive that absolutely perfectly and not have the little bump give them any variance, because that's a tight tolerance to get through and not bust the frame up too.
He was he was a very good driver that decided to go through a door window or a store window.
I guess that's why be careful of stunt drivers in the zombie apocalypse, because they're gonna do stupid stuff like that. Ooh, there's some nice loot down there, it looks like, or is that just trash?
This is all trash.
Oh.
Yeah.
At first look, it's like, oh, there's stuff. Checking under counters, checking the floor space. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of places where there is loot out in the world.
You know where I've been told has a lot of shotguns is if you look under here. Let me walk over to an actual store. Like if you look under here, and it's actually like taped to the underside of all the counters.
Oh, nice! I haven't seen anything there. I haven't seen anything like that. Are you saying that's what you want, or that's something you've seen?
That's something that I've heard. Is there?
Okay.
I haven't seen it myself.
Okay, because that sounds pretty smart. Yes, Groutman's canned food plant, Smedley's vegetable farm, all of that sort of stuff would be lovely to see. Just all sorts, all the stuff that they already have.
You know, it's kind of crazy that it took 4 shots to the chest to kill that guy.
Well, it's okay. It's not 25 damage, 25 damage, 25 damage, 25 damage. I'm guessing the amount of damage that it's inflicting is higher than that, but it still takes 4 to actually finish him off. It might be like as much as 30, 31 damage per shot. So it might be 3 shots plus a whack of some sort. Maybe not 4 shots if you can save it, or if you punch him for the last hit for kicks or whatever.
It's probably true. Yeah.
Seen a tweet where a gun was mounted over a door. That's awesome.
That is awesome. There is once I got to this town, if you guys haven't noticed, there are so many weapons that it's not even funny. Like I've found so many axes, hatchets, craziness.
Nice. Yeah, they've definitely cranked up the loot availability from where it was at. It's hard to say whether it's the right balance right now, because we've only seen that runaway guy and maybe somebody else, or was that the same guy?
That was the same guy.
Okay, so we've only seen one person in this round now. It's 4:25 p.m. Pacific time, which means on a West Coast server, a lot of people are still at work. People that are playing with their buddies might already be over on the East Coast servers. So this is kind of, still a time where there's a lull in the action.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the idea then that do is there enough loot to support a large group of players, or is it that the distribution of loot now makes it possible for a group of players to not, have to kill people for the loot, or find it. I haven't found anything in these offices, by the way. If you find anything,
I haven't either. I was just about to leave.
Yeah,
actually. I found a gun one time, but I didn't have any bullets for it.
Yeah, that'll happen. Is that actually inside the side of the building?
No.
Okay.
He crashed up against the side of it. Yeah.
Cool.
Knocked over the sign.
Nice.
Have they done the new lighting patch yet?
I don't believe the new lighting passes. No, yeah, they have actually. They did put the new lighting in, and that was the screenshot they put out with the before and after. And people were saying, "Oh no, you're making it less eerie. It's not going to be zombie enough." And
oh, it looks so much better.
I'm like, you know what? Actually, the light actually looks way more realistic, and honestly, it doesn't matter. Comparing one of those images to the other because they aren't even the same time of day. So,
right.
At least get them at the right time.
Yeah, I think it looks nice.
Nisco, I'm pretty sure they did. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I believe if they haven't, then it's just that one screenshot that I've seen. But I honestly haven't looked into it too much myself.
Yeah, all I've seen is that they were going to. I saw the screenshot and I was like, "Wow,
nice one." I guess I'm too busy trying to survive to pay attention to the lighting.
There you go. No, but I think that it looks good anyway. But with the new lighting, it was a marked improvement.
Is that straight up coming out the window, or is it just floating there?
No, it was just floating there. It looks like.
That's pretty funny.
So I better switch to the...
Yeah, Pantera, Molotov cocktails would be lovely. Just being able to put some accelerant on a rag and, put it on something and light it on fire would be nice. Like just... or even just pouring it on a building and lighting it up. It's like, all right, you have a base out here. Well, nobody gets to enjoy this loot. It's torched. Is that a gun up there?
Is that another gun? Yeah.
That's funny.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to get the loot on top of these.
Yeah, can you jump on one of the posts and get access?
Oh, there's a spot right there.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, no space, of course. Okay. And it's not a proximity item, so that makes sense.
Because otherwise you could at least unload it.
Let's see, I might be able to get closer to it to make it.
Yeah, you're right, Nisco. They did have clouds and more weather effects in the new lighting system, so you might be right that it's not in yet. But, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm sure that isn't the last lighting pass they're going to do either. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that's going to go in. And in some ways, I'm really excited for PlanetSide 2 to be able to get a lot of this stuff coming back to it, because I was just playing that over the weekend and realized, man, this game is really way behind the H1Z1 Forge Light engine.
Oh, is it?
It's so far behind.
That's what I'll do. I'm just going to drop the gun on the ground.
Pick up that one.
And then fight the zombie. Dang it. Okay. Ah! Wrong button.
There you go.
Sure.
Do you just mash left click to shoot?
No. I actually aim.
Yeah, better start looking at the gas pumps indeed, Throckmorton.
Oh yeah, I found a lot of stuff on gas pumps.
If you've
now
ever
I can't grab it.
Seen some of the pictures, you were being attacked again, or are you bleeding?
Oh, this one had 6 bullets.
Nice. You're bleeding though.
Yeah, I know.
You should gauze up.
This is this the same gun?
As the other one you found?
Mm-hmm.
They're both M1911s. You should, if you stand over the other one, can you access it? It might be under the zombie. Or,
there it is.
There it is. You can at least right click to unload it, right?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, you should probably keep.
They're only 100 bulk each. I could get the branch out. I think I could.
Yeah.
I could find a way to keep this other gun too. I'll just eat my way to it.
There you go. Hopefully not get attacked or have the gun picked up off the ground and shot you with it, or somebody shoot you with it. That'd be bad, though it doesn't seem like they'd necessarily be able to finish you off.
Right. Yeah.
Alright. So by the way, folks, we are taking questions, so if you have any, please do throw them on out there.
How do I have less room now than I did? Does that make sense? There we go. Just need to get 5 more, and now I can pick up the stupid other gun, too.
There you go.
That's pretty interesting, though, that they put a 500 bulk on a bow. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, because the gun's pretty small.
People can conceal a gun in their waistband. Like, that's... They don't really take up that much space.
Oh, here's another gun.
Well, it's Mary
Exactly.
Gunsmiths.
Exactly the same. Okay, let me try to find another 100. Screw this metal sheet. Let's pick up this gun.
Now, this is also something else to keep in mind with the loot distribution considerations. One person might just go and grab up all of the good stuff, and you might not have much of the good stuff because it's just someone else is hoarding it. You kill them, and it all becomes available to you. But in a group, it kind of has a little bit of a different consideration. You're going to try to spread things out. People with different ammo types trying to make sure that they're distributed with the right kind of ammo. Make sure you've got people covering all the bases. The other nice thing in a group is you could have one person that carries the flashlight. You could have one person that just has binoculars up so they can spot things in the distance. As a solo player, you're kind of limited because you need all 3 of your slots to your primary, secondary, tertiary to carry weapons, to carry large items. You don't have that much of a consideration when there isn't more stuff than you can carry that you and your group can find. So it gives a lot more room for variation in a group and allows for team tactics to actually be a thing. That one's
Oh,
got
you know
no
what I just
rounds.
figured out, too? What I figured out is once you pick up a gun, it puts all the rounds in the same one.
Oh,
So I was able to just drop the other 2, and then just keep this one, and it has all 6 rounds.
there you go.
There you go.
There's mention of unique models for faction harassers in PS2.
There's another gun.
I
Holy
don't.
crap.
I know there might be some amount of the vehicle customization that's going to be going to PS2. Definitely the ability to change things out in the field for both infantry and vehicles. That's a giant leap for PlanetSide 2 because up to this point, what you get out of an equipment terminal, the vehicle you access from the vehicle terminal, that's what you've got. You can't change anything about it. And if you pick the wrong loadout, you just wasted your resources. Go and do the best you can with what you got. So that's going to be something really nice to see kind of link back to PlanetSide 2. Now, as for the faction-specific harassers, I could see that being a thing, but I think you might be talking about the Empire-specific transports that are on the way. And those aren't necessarily a harasser chassis. That's a little bit larger. I think it's maybe going to fill more the role that the Deliverer in PlanetSide 1 did. Driver, 2 gunners, and a couple extra seats. So we'll see. It'll be nice to see, but mostly I'm just excited that the technology is going back and forth between the different Forge Light projects, because this may also mean once weather is nice and solid in H1Z1, then we'll finally see it in Landmark. I know they've talked about it in Landmark, but it sounds like it's still a little ways off, and I'm wondering if that's contingent on H1Z1 getting it in or not.
I mean, it definitely seems like H1Z1 is closer.
Yeah, well, it's because that's where they've got a lot of their resources allocated right now. Like, much of the PlanetSide 2 team was reallocated to H1Z1 back in 2013 even.
Right.
If not 2013, then definitely 2014 for most of them. Not saying that there isn't a team working on it,
Oh,
but I
here's the
think
car.
most of what the team is working on is the PS4, getting the beta to PS4 going. Hey, look
I
at
just stole somebody's
that!
car.
Either you stole somebody's car or they left it for you.
No, I saw them get out of it.
Hey, you don't know. They might have left it for you. They might have like, all right, this is it. I'm finding a bridge. I'm jumping off. I hope somebody takes this. You just ran over that guy or tried to? Or did he jump in?
I tried to run over him, and he didn't die.
Did he jump in?
No.
Okay. So yeah, this is sociopath creme check. Though now that you've got a vehicle, maybe you'd actually be able to get to Cranberry.
I should probably try.
But you're gonna
First,
kill
I
this
should
guy.
run some people over. Yeah. And then taunt these people with their truck.
How much
What's up,
fuel
guys?
do you have?
Oh, I don't even know. Hold on.
We'll look
Let's
in
see.
the lower right.
20% only.
Yeah. You're either going to be running people over or finding your way somewhere else. Probably not too much of both, because...
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find my way to somewhere else at this point.
There you go.
Whoa! I don't know what I hit there.
Road stuff.
Road stuff.
Yeah, you got a thug life in the... Back... Baby... Yeah, no, I don't know. Baby Swoops can drive her own truck at this point. She's
Yeah,
she's a pretty
off on her
capable
own somewhere.
H1Z1 player.
Huh, fire station.
There you go.
I would stop, but I'm not
Nah.
gonna.
Don't.
Okay, let's see if I can finagle my way in to look at this map.
Wouldn't you be using Alt to try to free look at it? Or
Okay.
is it free look in the vehicle by default? I can't remember. I think it is.
It's by default, yeah. So we have Pleasant Valley, and I think south is the right way, so I think I'm going the right way.
Okay.
Just making that up, but I
don't-
think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think south is the right way. I don't remember off the top of my head. I guess I still haven't fully memorized the map, but I don't know. I feel weird about the map. I was getting in a little discussion with somebody in one of the chat rooms about this, and I realize the idea of the in-game map is a novelty, but ultimately it falls off because everybody just says, look at the wiki map, look at the online map. So why not have an in-game map that you can just press M and open up, just not know exactly where you're at? It's no different than people just looking at a wiki. I mean, it's the same thing I've been saying with
It's true.
the hardcore servers. Why is it hardcore? Just because you have to spend a second to learn the recipe before you make it one time? That makes absolutely no sense. It doesn't
Right.
matter. It's totally arbitrary.
Well, then you have people like me that have never looked at one of those maps because I don't want to. And if I did have a map button, I would.
But that's, most players seem to be not only okay with, but really encouraging, oh, you need to find your way around, use one of the many maps online,
Right.
rather than, not doing it and using the in-game mechanic that there aren't maps that you get to carry around everywhere. It really defeats the purpose of not having maps that you carry around in-game to just be able to look them up. Because, people have done it. I'm sure people have printouts and notes and stuff that they use, and, that's the stuff that should be done in-game.
But it does, but that's kind of sad in this day and age. We can't even have a game.
Wonk! Nice! Was that another driver?
Yeah.
Finish the job! Getting theirs.
No! Damn. Now
That's
they
fine.
only have a vehicle.
They lost everything that was
doesn't-
in their vehicle and a heavily
Yeah.
damaged truck.
I almost got it. And heavily damaged.
Yeah.
Ha
Nice. Nice. Put it to him there. Good stuff. Yeah, Fog of War on a learnable map would be really nice. Use French/LSC, no location around coordinates. Yeah, so it's the online, in-game versus offline map thing. It's sort of a weird thing. What do you folks think is a good way to resolve it? And while you folks in chat give us your response, I want to answer this question that Pone Daddy gave us. Should players have the freedom to build in ways that block others from easily accessing buildings? I would say, on one hand, whoops.
Sorry.
Hey, what are you doing there? On one hand, it
accidentally hit my window
violates the in many ways, actually, I would say it violates the spirit of what you're supposed to be able to do with building. It's the point of it is making a structure that you can use and reinforce and call your own. But at the same time, there's the challenge that if you're in your base, I might want to seal you in and then start lobbing Molotovs over the wall and just cook you from the inside.
Once they have that, yeah.
That's it's definitely, it isn't a feature we have immediately, but that's the sort of stuff I would imagine people do on The Walking
Hmm.
Dead, for example. You know, if somebody,
I do
if
have
you
a.
go ahead.
I mean, I do have a feeling about that, or I do have an opinion though. Like me, I want to have a church, right?
Hmm.
So I can't actually board up the windows and such yet. I can't take the church. So what I have to do is I have to build a wall around the church somehow, and then find a way to put a little building in the middle where the wall isn't, and then like knock out the walls and then just have the doors there. And so I can make it so the church is mine, but uh, but again, that's not really in the spirit of the game. But the spirit of the game is I can have the church if I want to,
You
right?
should no, the ability to create containment by surrounding a place with walls and having one access point that's hard to get through. That definitely seems like it's in the spirit of the game, and it's the sort of thing you should be able to do. I
Hmm.
think it's like the idea that somebody can put a furnace outside the door to your place, and then you can't get into your place until you destroy the furnace.
Right.
That's the sort of stuff. And just in general, a furnace like that, you should be able to just kick it over, whatever. Some things are rooted into the ground in a way that would make them really hard to move. Some things it looks like you should just be able to push them right over. And the only reason why you wouldn't want to knock over a furnace if it's actually hot and going.
Right.
Though
Well,
if it,
my thought was exactly the same thing as Panteraga, and what they're saying is that people are like building these huge, incredibly massive things, like in the middle of towns, blocking 3 storefronts, and now they are the only access to all that loot. They have the
yeah,
only access to all that loot, and that's something that is what we're talking about. Is probably not in the spirit of the game, whereas trying to take over just that building because loot's not going to spawn there anymore, but you have it. That is.
I wonder if the solution is to increase the rate that zombies try to attack and take down structures in the world, specifically ones that are in proximity of other
Hmm.
structures.
Hmm.
That it could just be, a constant, like, static source of heat in an area when you've got enough buildings in proximity where there weren't buildings before. That regardless, even if there's nobody there, it still has a constant heat blip on the map that will bring zombies coming and trying to smash it down, or possibly other things. If you've got food in there, any food at all, bears and wolves should try to break their way through and eat it. Other things too. When we get raccoons will be tearing up holes in buildings left and right. They're
Right.
basically just smaller bears, but they're a lot more tenacious about that sort of thing.
Right. For sure.
Like drywall, they don't care. They'll rip right through it. Wood, they'll find their way through. They'll scratch through. They're smart. They're tough. And especially if you got a lot of hungry raccoons, they'll find a way. Don't you worry.
Yes, they will.
So that's the sort of stuff. Maybe that's the sort of thing where nature needs to come in and be a factor. I guess one other nice thing would be if there's maybe a slightly complicated method of pulling buildings down. Like you can attach a couple of ropes to it and use like a big chunk of wood or something to help us give you some leverage and pull it down.
Or strapped to the back of your bumper
Back the bumper,
or something.
absolutely. This
Or the
also
other
kind
way.
of goes back to the thought of needing help to actually put buildings up, in that to actually solo put that little shack down in the world in front of that building on concrete. That should take minimum 20 in-game minutes to do solo.
Right. Right.
It's the sort of thing that building structures, building shacks and stuff, it really should take multiple people's effort, especially going back to the subject last week of trying to hang a door by yourself. I don't just mean like lining up the hinges that are already there and dropping a bolt in. I'm talking actually trying to line up a door by yourself. Even in a non-survival situation, that's a pain in the ass. So,
Right. Right, it is.
how are they going to do it solo, like a snap of the fingers like that? That's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, even dropping the bolt in, it's hard if you're by yourself. It's still going to
Throck
take.
had to fend off some raccoons the other night. Buggers came through the cat door, mooching the cat food. Yeah.
Oh, that's why you don't have a cat door.
Yeah, we had to end indoor outdoor access for the cat when we realized not necessarily that a raccoon did that, though a raccoon did try to do that because we're figuring that's how the little grating on the or little vent holes on the side of the garage got opened up, and that's where the cat was using for in out access. But no,
Huh.
the cat himself had no idea that when you grab a lizard out in the wild and you bring it into your house and you play with it a bit, you're going to get bored of it, and then you're going to have a lizard or a mouse in the house. So we had mice and lizards for a little while that it didn't seem like we could get rid of despite all of our best efforts because the cat kept bringing them in. Like
That's funny.
trying to I would basically, like, every morning wake up, go over to the couch with a pair of tongs, try to pick up any lizards that were hidden under spaces, pull them out. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nuts.
varmints, exactly. That sort of pesky critters. That would make a lot of sense.
I
And
feel like there just has to be more wildlife in the game, period.
yeah. So what
It
you
just
walked
doesn't
through
feel
right
like
there was
there's
like
enough.
a player made little gauntlet of
Mhm.
shacks. And that's kind of cool, but what's to stop somebody else from coming along and blocking it off with a couple more?
Well, just putting one right here,
Yeah, exactly. And then
completely block it off.
it's
I guess you could still get through right here
yeah,
and such, but it's still hard.
yeah, it's definitely something that it creates kind of an issue. You're definitely right. Um, could be a big problem. Yes, rattlesnakes poisoning you. That would be great. Mosquitoes, I could see that. That would be a huge consideration if
Hmm.
there's still bodies of water around and you don't have any sort of repellent or something on. You might want to stay away from that area.
Well, and if there was repellent around, that would be something that a zombie would learn means humans.
Yup.
So it's something that you would have to really figure out if
The
you would rather
the balance,
be
yeah.
eaten by a zombie or eaten by a mosquito.
I wonder if there's something like covering yourself in tree sap or something will help fend them off. I don't know. How's it going, Daddy-O? Welcome, welcome. Daddy-O was previously, very recently, in fact, on Dead Feature Rant here. So
Hey, a
everybody
compass.
say what's up to him here, and
What's up,
we
Daddy-O?
found a compass. That's really helpful.
Yeah, this is the second compass I've found
I wish they
in
had
the
better
game.
fidelity though, because giving me the letters versus giving me the actual directions just doesn't do it.
Right. I agree with that.
Like, make the makeshift compass where you use purified water and a metal scrap or whatever. Make that something where you're only getting vague directions. But a real deal, full on like field compass, no, that should give you degrees.
I agree with you.
Groutman's chili might give you the farts. Yeah, I could see that. Indigestion and other things causing you to stink more. Definitely.
True.
Skunks can spray, be unfavorable for zombies. I mean, if zombies get sprayed by skunks, it'll probably hinder their senses quite a bit because they're just going to be smelling skunk in their faces. It's a pretty overpowering smell.
Yes, it is.
Uh,
Two more
gotta,
combat knives.
gotta have a use for the antibiotics and immune pills you've been hoarding. Yeah, Throck. Well, I mean, they took out
I just need
all of the illness and disease and stuff while they've been doing an overhaul of the wellness system. Maybe not an overhaul, but I guess the first haul to get all of that in. All the wellness stuff, body state and condition. That paper doll of your character isn't just going to be for looks. Eventually, it's going to tell you where you're injured and how you're
right,
affected
exactly.
in the world. If you're cold, if you're sick, that sort of stuff. So that's also going to change things dynamically with not only loot distribution but KOS perception, because it will get to a point where you might find yourself like Double D in Survivor Radio, where he's on one end of a closed restaurant or an abandoned restaurant, and on the other end is a little 12-year-old pointing a gun at you, who you can bribe with a candy bar to not shoot you. That's actually having to find cover, actually having to hide, wait out the weather. That's going to be a big deal. And then the other thing is what that's actually going to do for loot. You're not going to have as much time that you can go out and loot. So what you grab, you're going to be not just grabbing stuff for the immediate, but grabbing stuff for the long haul.
Right.
Yeah, that's right, Pantera Gook. Double D. The whole joke behind the character was that his name is David, I believe, first and middle name or something like that. And the reason why he was able to survive so well is because name like Double D growing up, you can't be a fat kid. It's just gonna be constant harassment your entire life. So he got himself in good shape, and that was one of the reasons why he was actually able to survive as long as he was. So that's kind of a funny little part of the Survivor Radio story there. If anybody has not listened to the Survivor Radio, do it. It is so awesome. It gives you so much backstory. And in fact, don't just listen to it. Actually watch the ticker at the bottom. There's a lot of really interesting notes. At some point, a nuclear explosion went off in India, and Pakistan is claiming foreign aggression. So, there's some gnarly shit going on in the world.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't actually done much of the Survivor Radio at all.
Oh, you need to hear that, man. It's big stuff. Mention about more character models. Right now, Pantera Gook, I have not heard anything about more character models other than the usual thing that we know. I will still go back. Yeah, I'll go back to my usual statement on this. Wait until they've got all of the animations, all the systems, and everything worked out for one character model, because then they'll know exactly what they need to do, what animations, what variations for the different character models and body types. Particularly female, I'm sure is going to be the first big one coming along, if they don't just do a big group when they get to it. But that's basically where I see things kind of going, is once they're certain of everything that's going to be going into the male model and what it's doing and all of its actions, and that might even include swimming in depth. And if that's the case, then we're going to need the water functionality before we finally get the rest of the models. But they might not necessarily wait on that. Swimming might be, it might even be something that they've got rigged up somewhat, but they just have to have the rest of the functionality for water and depth and stuff working before they'll actually put it in. But yeah, it's definitely something they want to do. More models.
You guys wonder what I'm doing right now? I'm making a backpack frame.
Oh, neat.
Or making a framed backpack. Which is, I found a spool of twine, so I was like, should I go for the big backpack, or should I go for the better bow? And I decided to go for the big backpack.
I would have gone with the better bow, but I guess big backpack helps. The normal backpack was it 800?
1,000.
1,000.
It's 1,000.
And what's the frame backpack carry?
It's 1,200.
Ah.
It's not a huge difference, but it's enough to get another couple bottles of water, a lot more ammo, stuff like that.
You feel better if you were attacked by a she-zombie? Oh, well, yeah, with the zombie models, I'm sure those are probably on the way, too. I'm sure they got a lot of those in the works. But it's probably at the point where they've got enough now that they don't really have big pressure on getting one more zombie in, rather than taking the time to make sure all the different versions and variations of zombies that they add, and maybe add them in a big group, are going to have full functionality to them. It doesn't really seem like there's necessarily that much that goes into the aesthetic variations from zombie to zombie, different clothes, the wear and the breakdown of the tissue and stuff on their faces. There's a lot of systems they already have to have a lot of variance with that, but it's still it's still the same zombie silhouette that you see in the distance. So to that extent, yeah, it still hasn't quite changed. We'll get there. We'll get there when we get more models. Don't worry. So You're just click mashing there, making more arrows. It sounds like
More arrows, yep.
gotta have more arrows.
And then I could grab this machete again just in case. If you guys don't hear, I actually hear an airdrop, but I don't know where it is yet. I'm gonna head towards there, and we'll definitely see people there. I feel like it's in this direction.
Yeah, sometimes with the foggy days, it's really hard to tell where it's coming from. Sometimes I've tried to track the sound and everything, and it's just completely gone, come and gone without me even having a glance at it whatsoever. And that's something that's going to increase as they make the as they make the world larger. The ability to even be in the area where a crate is going to drop is going to
Right.
get smaller and smaller, to the point where you might not even hear the plane when you call in an airdrop. What is that? Another backpack?
Another backpack, yeah.
You're gonna scrap it, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Might as well. That's once again talking about loot perception, or loot distribution, KOS perception. If you're in a group, a lot less backpacks get shredded than if you're solo.
Right.
If you're solo, you've got a backpack. That's great. Maybe you'll carry a second one as a bargaining tool or something, or
Oh, that's true. I never thought about that.
maybe
But yeah.
you just shred it because it is nice bits of scrap that you can use for other stuff.
Oh, look at this.
I don't know, dude. Something might be. Actually, I wonder how that did die.
I don't know, but it seemed like I just ran off and it was fine.
Yeah. Well, was it a zombie? Was it a bear? Was it someone just taking some random shot somewhere?
Probably that. By the way, just seeing kind of what Pantera says, I don't even know if this is what he's talking about, but he says not worried about just adding chat content. I don't actually care about. This is one of the games that I don't care about chat whatsoever. I don't care.
No,
that
I
we
think he's
can't-
talking about in the broadcast here, because it's
Oh.
been a little bit slow on the discussion today. I understand it.
Yeah.
Hug Me John says, do you think they'll add different kinds of ammo, like armor piercing and flaming
Yeah,
arrows? There are
probably.
already flaming arrows that they've demonstrated. I just don't know if we have the ability to access them yet. Armor piercing, most definitely. Hollow point, all sorts of different ammo types. But that's going to come with the consideration that they didn't want to. They didn't want to make the game like, basically a gun masturbation simulator. And then the other thing is some amount of simplification, just so that way, you've got you don't end up in the situation where you've got 3 magazines with 3 rounds of completely different types, because the data and the stuff in the game isn't apt to take multiple types of rounds in the same magazine and just cycle through them as needed. Maybe that is something they'll put in. That would be fantastic. That's something that I'd wanted to see in Planet Side 2, actually. The ability to have the gun alternate between different bullet types, or the first few rounds in the magazine fire
Right.
a maybe more of a higher damage shot, and then the second half of the rounds are more of a high accuracy shot. So you try to sting them with the first few shots, and then the rest of them you're trying to make sure actually hit to finish them off. Yeah, different types of arrows. I would probably see a lot more variation there than anything else, because it is just a single item reload. It isn't like you have magazines to deal with. So it would just be a button swap or a button press to swap between your different ammo types for the bow. Versus with the pistol, that's a full reload instead of just, what your next arrow is going to be. Might want to cook that venison a little extra. Yeah, you might be right about that, Romeo. We don't quite have parasites and stuff in the game. That'll be gnarly when they actually have the wellness system and people can get like nasty parasites and stuff for eating meat in the wild without cooking it first.
Right. Right now, just what takes some HP sometimes.
Yeah, it takes a little HP if you eat something raw. It's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal at all.
I think that I might know where I am, but I could be wrong.
This looks like it's one of the those little rest stop sort of areas, if I'm not mistaken. Like not a full on town on the map, but just where you'll see a couple of houses represented, maybe.
Right.
Maybe not. Have you seen a map around in the area here?
No, I haven't. And I don't think this is where I know anyway.
Yeah, hug me, John. There actually is at least limited body armor that we can use in the form of helmets. They've shown us a ton of concept art, a ton of concept art
Yep.
of different armors and stuff that they haven't put in yet. There's two reasons for that. One, the process of going from a static model to something that's rigged on a character that moves and interacts with the world. That's a bit of work. It's not something that happens overnight. Just going from a model to a rigged model with skeleton and all of that stuff, that's a pretty decent bit of work on its own, especially for something that's meant to look really high quality and really nice and smooth. So everything in H1Z1 is going to try to have a level of quality to it. They're not just going to slap a crappy looking backpack on your character and have it floating a few inches off your back and it never moves or deforms or anything. They don't want that. Same thing with the body armor. I guess the other thing is they might not actually know how much they want body armor to be limiting. They might not have all of the rules defined on their own for how it works. If it's something where the armor takes damage and you take damage, or the armor absorbs some of it on the initial hit and then it's partially absorptive, or what sort of considerations, and then further on that, repairing it. If you've come across damaged armor, how much damage inflicted on it is actually going to render it useless? Is that even going to be a consideration? A Kevlar vest that's been shot a couple of times, the fibers have broken down. That's yeah, you might be if you're hitting some other places, you might be might be all right, but areas that have already been hit. I mean, just in general, Kevlar is going to stop a bullet from entering your body. It's not going to stop the impact from hitting you, so you're still going to be hurting. So a tougher body armor on top of that, something that's actually got plates or something rigid. If it's more of like there's some of them that it takes a bullet and then that area is pretty much useless, and it's more or less an encumbrance at that point. There's some that it can get hit a whole bunch of times from a whole bunch of angles and it still works. So and it also, we're talking about like differences of civilian body armor versus chainmail and less sophisticated body armors that may have existed. Even leather, just to be able to kind of fend off slashes a little bit and dampen
Bubble
the
wrap.
impact. Bubble wrap is kind of funny. You're just gonna be loud and popping everywhere. But yeah, body armor, there's definitely a lot of considerations to it. There's a lot of stuff, and I really hope they're going to take the time and effort to make it a reasonable system, make it something that doesn't just feel like this canned sort of thing that, body armor is body armor, either if you got it, you don't. But instead, there's actually meaning to everything. Like if you've got
Right.
Something that's got coverage in some areas but not others, it might be more beneficial to try to hit them in the arms or the legs than the torso. Bubble wrap attract zombies, yeah. Chip, hey, yeah. Armor should probably slow you down, yeah.
I would say, yeah.
That's one of those things where having a weapon out, having armor, actually just encumbrance in general is one of those things I feel like should be addressed, but it's a weird sort of thing. How much should it slow the character down? How much should it impact the amount of stamina drain when they're running? Increase the stamina for jumping? That sort of stuff. There's just a lot of considerations with how it would work, and then are we going to loop that back? Will other things encumber you? Will carrying around a completed shack or gates and stuff like that in your backpack, should that be encumbering? After all, it's 500 pounds of wood that you're carrying in your backpack. What's that compared to what at most a 50-pound vest or something with the body armor? Maybe it's
I would like it better. I would like it better if you weren't holding full shacks in your inventory. If once you decided that you were going to build that, that's where it put it.
Yeah. That actually is something that I had kind of talked about in the past. The idea that you don't, maybe you make parts of things in an area, but you don't fully assemble something until you're in the place where it's going to go. That definitely makes
Right.
sense. Polycode, hey hey.
What's up, Polycode? Long time no see.
So that's there's definitely a lot of stuff like that, and they definitely have a lot of time to work through it. We are in early access. We're still, it's halfway between a mod of the PlanetSide 2 Forge Light engine and what H1Z1 is going to be at launch. It's kind of split in the difference right now. There's a lot of
Right.
stuff, it looks H1Z1. They've replaced all of the models in the UI, but there's still a lot of systems that they're, building up on and overcoming and adding to. Um, so, it's in good shape where it's at. It's going to be a year from now. It's going to be definitely the MMO survival game. If you want to go in an open world and try your luck, and you might die to a player, you might die to an animal, you might die to dysentery. H1Z1 will be the game. We're not there
Yeah,
yet,
for
but
sure.
it's early access.
Look at this right here.
What'd you get?
You got a wolf.
Oh,
Nope.
yeah. Point blank or close range or whatever, the bows are a lot less effective on them, especially because you don't have a contextual. Cute. Why'd you punch it out? You have a blade.
Oh, I do. Yeah, whatever. That's
Mhm.
okay.
Wizenhunt posted today that stacking furnaces, campfires may be fixed in the next patch. That's awesome. That's really good to hear.
I don't even understand how, like, why people would want 13 furnaces or whatever. Because anytime that I've ever made
No,
something, I just
it's
wanted that.
it's that they use the furnaces to get over walls or block things and stuff like that.
Oh,
It's using them as an obstacle rather than,
different kind of stack.
yeah.
I got you. I was gonna say because I don't understand that because I use it when I build it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't build it.
Let's see.
No, but that makes sense.
Hug Me John, do you think hackers are destroying the game or pointing out the big flaws in the game? I haven't seen a hacker yet.
Either way.
I've yet to, and I honestly don't think it's a problem. Any hacks that are happening right now, don't worry about. They're using this opportunity as research to learn about these, so it's a lot easier to take them down and keep them down forever.
Yep. Okay, still can't get under there. Poop. Oh well.
Crowbar destroys metal doors? Oh, I did not know that. That makes sense, though, because crowbar is what you use to attack metal things.
Right.
Bust it down. Yeah. Yeah, and that's going back to what I was saying, the idea that it should take a lot more effort to take down something than to put it up. But at the same time, I feel like it should take a lot of effort to even put stuff up in the to begin with. Now, here's a question. Everybody in chat, what do you think about this? If you put down a structure on anything but dirt, it should be way easier to destroy or even knock over than something that's actually built into the dirt that can actually be sunk in. Because if somebody builds a shack on concrete, it's not really bolted down. I could literally just go over to it, rock it back and forth a couple of times, and give it a nice good shove, and it's over. It's over on its side like a porta potty. So I haven't done that to anybody or any porta potties in real life, but I've seen how wobbly those damn things are. Even if it is bottom heavy, it doesn't help. They'll just tip right on over.
Yeah, you think so? I kind of want to do that now. Tip over porta potties.
Okay. So we can kill the thieves. Down it with a truck, push it over. Yeah, we were saying that earlier. Tie some ropes or chains around it or something, and either drive a truck away with it or tie him around a tree, cut the tree down, and the weight of it being pulled down is just going to pull the whole damn thing right up.
That would be kind of cool, actually. So this is the area that I stole the car from. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming they have more vehicles. Ooh, that's a nice axe.
It is.
I'm gonna take that instead. Oops.
So Pantera is saying, me and Talinar got a cop car from some dude, stole it, saying we took it from them, found it like 3 miles away. Yeah, you know, anything that somebody else has in H1Z1, you can claim that it's been stolen from you by somebody else, but nobody actually owns anything. It's only on your character for as long as it's alive.
And who cares? It's like, you saw me steal someone's car because they hopped out of it, and that's what I need to do to survive, so that's what I did.
Yep. Until they give some option to like put punji sticks on the seat or something, so when someone tries to drive in, they impale themselves.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Or some sort of a trap or something, just to keep people from being able to take your vehicle. Because right now, they've said they don't have a locking system, and they don't plan to have a locking system. So...
Oh. For car doors.
Yeah. So if everybody's out of a vehicle, anybody can get into it. It makes sense, because I would imagine most cars, you know, you had to smash the window to get in or something. Or, you know,
well, yeah, I mean,
you were lucky that it was unlocked and it wasn't locked by the last person who was in it.
Yeah, and so what they say, and what most people do, is if you want to keep your car, take all the crap, take all the components out of it
from the inside
when you leave the car. Right.
Which is also a weird thing, that you're accessing the hood from the exterior, or from the interior rather. Now, going back to PlanetSide 1, you actually had different access points. The driver had a different entry point than the gunners or the passengers, and there was a trunk space in particular where the inventory for the vehicle, the ammo for the vehicle, and any items you wanted to store would be located. Did you see somebody in the distance?
No, but I'm going up on the base. You know when I stole the vehicle? I'm coming up on their base right now. And I figure this is
another vehicle to loot. I don't know that it was their base, or if they were just passing through and they decided we'll go head on at this truck and see how things go.
Well, no, the other one, the first truck.
Oh, yeah.
That I stole. I'm coming up on their base, or whatever it was. So I figure if someone's around, it will also show, you know, what kind of KOS we have. So I'm running around with my arms up, other than the fact that I'm about to shoot the zombie.
Yeah. Chip, I like lockpicks for a car, but even better, I like using a wire hanger, or actually finding in a police station a Slim Jim, and just being able to jimmy it open that way. That actually makes a lot more sense to me. Just to be able to limit... Well, I guess not limit, actually, to open up opportunities, so that way when you do find cars in the world, yeah, you know, there's the stuff in the trunk, but before you can really do anything, before you can even open the trunk from the latch on the inside, you got to jimmy the door open. I don't think it should be a one-use item either. It should be something that is low durability, that it should maybe be able to break pretty easily.
Found a gun.
But I think if it should be something that's kind of loud, and it should take a little while. I've tried to jimmy my my last car was a '98 Ford Taurus, and at some point I did the thing where I left my keys in the car, so I didn't have a coat hanger. I knew somebody who did, but he wasn't around, so I went to the campus police station and said, "Hey, can you help me open my car?" We get there, he hands me the Slim Jim and says, "For liability purposes, we can't actually do it, but here, I'll explain the process and you can do it." So I got a little learning in it, and it's actually not that hard. There's some cars that are easier, there's some cars that are tougher, but all the old beaters that we see in the world here, it seems like you'd be able to jimmy them right on open.
I just heard a police car. I'm going in that direction.
Nice. CBG Davin, our good buddy from Insanity's Blade developer here. What's up?
Hey!
What's up?
What's going on, buddy? And I found a gun with
some rounds.
Crap! Only one bullet now.
Whoops! What'd I say about not having the gun up until you need? No,
I know.
no, it's fine.
I hear it.
This is it a siren that you're
Oh,
hearing?
nope.
If you're smart, he
Uh-oh,
knows you're
that's
coming
bad.
this way. What was that? Oh, do you have more rounds now?
No. I picked up another gun.
But it doesn't appear to be loaded.
No, it's not loaded.
Damn.
But I think I hear
Yeah,
their
those
vehicle.
guys are over there. Are you just trying to get past them to get the vehicle?
Yeah.
Good luck. Oh, this is definitely their base. Shenanigans. Yeah. Yeah, Remio. New cars are definitely a lot harder. Looks like they were waiting for you there.
Ew!
How many of
That
them?
scared me. At least 2 with shotguns.
Yeah, they definitely freaked you out. Doing
Yes,
pretty
they
good.
did.
Doing good, Devin. H1Z1 is looking pretty good, and I don't know about Krem, but I'm doing quite well myself.
I'm doing amazing, thank you. I don't know if anybody, I know Neuro obviously did because he was on it for a little bit, but caught the show with Serial on Saturday night. But I was a bit hungover on Sunday, so I'm doing better from that. And when I
Well,
say
it's
a bit
Tuesday
hungover,
now,
I
so
meant I
you
was
should
like
have recovered.
gone. Yeah, I did. I recovered quite well so far, but that was pretty
Well,
ridiculous.
that's what you get for drinking with cereal. You can't keep pace.
I
You can't
know,
even
right?
half keep pace with that guy. He's just a beast.
Well, no, he told me that he got sick too.
Yeah. Metal scraps from S10s and Lancers, they're all plastic. That's funny. Yeah, you'd have to take chunks out of the engine or something to actually get some metal. What time does which show start, Chip?
This show starts at 3:30.
Yeah. This time for the show is supposed
Just
to...
drink every day, no hangover. Oh no, from the second I woke up, I was puking.
Oh, wow.
Like I was literally it was bad.
Oh yeah, I know loot is not final, Chip. Not even close to being final. But yeah, Dead Feature Rant. I know it's at a different time because my show's normally 5 to 6, 5 to 7, 5:30 to 7, or whatever for the different shows. But this one is 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and that might change somewhere down the road. I had initially picked this time because I thought they were going to be doing their official H1Z1 broadcasts at like 1:30 to 2:30, 2:30 to 3:30, something like that, and try to ride the crowd after. But they actually don't have an official broadcast schedule up to this point that I'm aware of, and from what I understand, that's the goal. Keep everyone on their toes. There's so many people that are big fans of this game that if they don't, mix it up a little bit and they keep it the same day, same time, it's just going to be like a crazy spam fest in chat every single time. Barf smell attracts zombies. Actually, that might repel them, or maybe they'll go for the barf smell and just try to attack that and eat it. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Are you going to be playing on after we wrap up here?
I think I'm going to. Yeah, I was gonna play to begin with, but then baby swoops, and this morning was crazy. I had a lot of stuff to do, and I actually didn't get to stream whatsoever. I didn't know about the stuff to do until my wife woke me up early this morning and said, "Hey, you got a lot of stuff to do." And I was like, "Oh, well, good. That's not something I should have planned for." But Swoops has stuff at school that I don't ever know about that I have to go do. And since I'm the stay-at-home one, then that's my job. So, morning.
There was a comment
but yes,
that,
I will be.
CBG Davin said earlier that makes sense, is that if you put the foundation in dirt, it might not be that sturdy. So, build it on concrete, it's not going to be rooted to the ground at all. Build it in dirt, you'll have to tamp down the ground. And that could be where they bring the ground tamper back, is once you actually build a facility, you tamp down the ground to actually keep it secure. But I could see that being something, a more of a building up a foundation sort of thing. Maybe not for just a crap shack that you can just push over. I don't know if that's actually something, maybe that is even necessary in the game. Um, but something that's going to be a little bit more permanent, not necessarily concrete, but like heavy stones and stuff. But that would mean we need stones. We don't actually have rocks and
Yeah.
stones as an item in the game yet. So,
Well,
and, and there's a
we
good
do need a
reason why.
concrete recipe, Pantera. That's
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
definitely. But the
Can you hear this
stones.
too? Oh gosh,
No.
I'm
So,
like hearing the car still.
oh wow. I mean, it's really really loud. Is it a siren or just the engine?
Just the engine.
Maybe the 3D positional audio is a little off or something still.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh, I found someone's base up here.
Yeah, Chip. That was the other thing was the ground tampers didn't have any limit, so they only worked or they worked everywhere. You could bring up a pile of dirt somewhere that totally didn't make sense, and you just screw up all the terrain. It looked horrible, actually. So that is definitely they would need to do something like that to really. Hey, look at that! How much fuel?
89%, but there's nothing in it.
That's fine. Oh wait, it's you're saying it's got no parts.
Right.
It looks like this is somebody's vehicle storage. You saying
Let
it
me
has
enter that one.
no parts or just some of the parts?
And no. Oh, now I can't enter vehicles. Oh, there we go. Okay. That has only headlights and
Take
a
'em.
motor. That's true. I should.
Screw them.
I can't. Everything I have is too full for
Oh,
it. Hold on. Let me jump out of here, kill this zombie. Maybe he'll drop a bag or something.
I'll also check the truck bed. See if there's something left in there. All right. Do you think people should start with skills that make it easier? Okay. So the question from Hug Me
Ooh,
John.
that one just needs battery and spark plugs, but
Do you
the fuel's low.
take out the battery and the headlights and see if you can make a spotlight from the two vehicles? Um, do you think people should start with
Okay, let me
skills
make a satchel.
that help them make stuff easier? Also have stuff that they can't learn at all? No, Hugby John, and this is going back to their main philosophies for the game, is that they don't want to make
Oh,
any situation where a player decides it's in their best interest to kill off their character rather than keep them around. And having
right.
different starting professions and different starting perks, unless they're like super minimal perks and everybody can, pick one or three or however many, um, it creates a situation where you might end up making a character and then being in a lot of situations where it's ineffective, and it's like, well crap, the only way I'm going to be able to keep rolling with these guys and be any effective is if I kill this character and come back with a tracker or a medic or something. Different classes, Chip, that'd be also a really cool thing, but keep in mind that it couldn't come with any starting loot, because then people would just come in the game, drop their loot somewhere or hand it to somebody, kill their character, and keep on rinse repeat until people are sufficiently geared or have items that are maybe harder to find, that they get more easy access to because they come off of one of these characters. So it could be definitely a different server mode, but it'd have to be a server mode. It wouldn't be vanilla whatsoever. It would be cool, though. I would like to see it as a server mode. I could see them doing something like that, and something that's maybe like the opposite of Battle Royale, where you're trying to keep everyone alive as long as possible, and the longer you keep your team of 20 people alive, the better the rewards everybody gets is, and everybody gets the same rewards at the end.
Oh, none of them had a battery.
I thought you said the truck had a battery.
Yeah, it had turbo and headlight.
Oh.
Let's see if you can make anything from those, though. Yeah, there's not even a recipe for those.
Yeah, a cooldown on making new characters on that server until you're... yeah, a cooldown. I could see that. Cooldown or even a ticket sort of entry. I don't know if people would want to do a ticket entry for that sort of thing unless it is like a instanced game mode that has rewards to it. And I think that's all they're going to be doing with tickets anyway. So we're getting close to the end of the show here. So I want to kind of give a little bit of time to wrap up before we bring this to Kremchek's neighborhood officially. So I guess why don't you actually start with your wrap up, Krem, and then I'll give mine, and we'll bring it over.
Yeah, so of course I'm Reverend Kremchek. If you don't know me, then you're missing out. So get to know me and come watch me and all that kind of stuff. Meet myself and Baby Swoops and Kari, who all stream on my channel. We all have a lot of fun. Play H1Z1. We're going to be doing a lot more PS4 again since I found the thing that I needed without stretching the cord all the way across the freaking house. Apparently there's something that you plug into one place, then plug it into the router, and then you plug it in somewhere else, and then plug that into your machine, and it works as though it's a very long plug, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. It's like $80, so I have to save up for it, but other than that, we'll get that done soon. And yeah, we're getting going, so I'm setting up my stream right now, so come over and watch me when we're done here.
Yep, absolutely. So that's the place to go. But before you go there, everybody, there is something that I did want to mention, and it might be of no consequence, or it might be kind of a big deal. There is going to, from what I understand, be a developer whitelist server. Now, I don't think that's 100% developers only, so much as a place where developers and very specific preferred people that they know aren't going to be, total jerks, or if they're going to be jerks, it's in a way that's, predictable. And have that going sometime soon. So if it's not already up, I think it's on its way. I don't know if any of us are going to have access. I really want to be able to play along there because it feels like it'd be a lot more of an engaging experience trying to survive in a place where the mechanics are really under constant observation. So I'm really excited one way or another, even if it's not something that's accessible to the public, just something that I know when the devs come home they can hop on and not be harassed, or the people they harass they can gun down with the Nerf gun at work the next day. That's some really nice stuff. Oh no, we could see.
I know you're seeing my stuff. I know.
That's fine. Here, I'll just hide that window.
Well, you can pull it back up. Deepbot was being dumb, so I had to close it for a sec.
It's fine.
It wasn't letting me change my description.
Sometimes it's weird like that. But anyway, that is it for this episode of H1Z1 Dead.
It's doing it again.
Oh.
Have you ever been able to not change the stream title?
It
just keeps going back to
yours. I just
yours.
do it in the dashboard, actually. Really? I haven't done it in Deepbot for months. So, if anybody would like to be a guest on a future episode of H1Z1 Dead Feature Rant, definitely throw an application in. There's the links down below on my page here. If not, if you know me from other places, if you've got my access from Skype or on Twitter or whatever, just hit me up there. I'd love to have some folks on. We always try to have awesome folks on, aside from us, of course, because we're awesome folks. And right. On that, I'm going to do my final wrap-up. So, live feature review. That's a EverQuest Next Landmark show, Wednesdays 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific. Theory Forge, that's 5:30 to 7 Pacific, also EverQuest Next and Landmark. Content and Creations, 1 to 5 p.m. Pacific on Sunday. And that's most... Oh, yeah, and I'll just follow me in all the places and you'll know about the other stuff that I'm working on. But that's it. We're going to be bringing this channel, or this party, over to Reverend Kremchek's channel. See you all over there, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye! I mean, hi! Or something. Because I'm now streaming also, so hi and bye. That's weird.